all genitalia looks weird. It's just a
Yeah,
fact of life.
I'll give you that.
Like, if you ask most women what looks weird between an uncircumcised and circumcised, they're probably gonna just say both.
Yeah,
Vagina is still weird looking, and it's kind of weird to
clam.
be like face to face with that. And I guess anyone can have smell issues, but it's like if I really cared about the woman, I'd be down with it. But like the first time I did it, I was 14, and
Oh wow.
I
Okay.
had no idea what the fuck I was doing.
Good
Because
night, Mom.
because like I lost my virginity that night.
Mom, I'm talking. I got people in my ear. What? What? What do you say?
We're talking about clan
Yeah,
meeting, woman. Oh god. Oh
I
god.
hope so. Anyway, you were saying.
But yeah, like I don't know, it's more complex than, giving a blowjob. Because, even if you don't know what you're doing down there, if she just, back and forth, yeah, you're pretty good. Just keep at that. But, like, the only thing I know, like, I don't really have any special moves beyond, like, a swirl, is the alphabet. Because that just fucking works. But it's still, I don't know, it's weird. Because, there are there's the vagina and there's a spot where she pees, and I don't feel like sticking like just guessing. Granted, a blowjob, it all comes out the same one, so I guess it's better for I don't know. It's weird.
Well, okay. Also, like with the girls' case, it's self-maintenancing. So, like, I feel like that's better off between the two.
Yeah, I mean, I'm circumcised, so I don't have to worry about peeling the skin, peeling the hood back, which I've heard can like I've heard a couple girls like that it can get linty and sweaty and from Monday, and it's just like, my God, that sounds so disgusting.
Well, since we're going into that, I am not. So I can say that in that case, it's a problem with the individual because with proper hygiene, that's not a problem.
I don't know. It just looks weird with a hood. Like the last time I saw one in a porn was like a couple days ago, and I was like, I couldn't concentrate. It was just like, no, it doesn't look like me.
All I'm saying, man, is that's the standard upgrade. Like,
Yes,
that's
but understand this. Like, okay, so most porn kind of avoids. Well, a lot tries to avoid showing the guy because no one wants to see the fucking O face of some buff, ugly dude as you're beating your meat. Because it's just like, oh, dude, stop looking at me. Don't zoom up on his
yeah,
fucking
exactly.
face, which
Or the
is already
gooch.
it's
It
already
happens
bad
too.
enough. But like, I've got partial sleeves of both my arms. So like if I'm watching something and you just see like it's cameraman point of view, and there's grabbing and well there's just really the grabbing and whatever the hands are doing. Like I'm watching it and it's really hard for me to get it, like, no pun intended, to get it out of my head that like that's not me, because if that was me there'd be ink everywhere. So it's not realistic. So when there's a hood, it's just like the other day when I saw it, I was just like, nope. I don't care how hot you are, lady. I can't do this. It's weird to look at.
That's funny. See, none of the girls I've been with haven't had an issue with it. So, I don't know.
I don't know. I've asked a few women about it, and like, I guess a circumcision is quite common. Um,
Yeah, it's the percentage is decreasing, but it is still by far the majority.
I did not know that it was decreasing.
Yeah, it's like 75%
That do or don't.
that
That do.
haven't done. Yeah.
But yeah, like every woman I've been with is like, I've Like, well, okay, not everyone, but most of them have been like, I've never seen one, and I don't think I would want to, because I've seen them like, you know, they've seen them in videos, and they're just like, no.
Hmm.
But
Then maybe I've done good enough that they just didn't care, because I've never had anybody been like, I can't do it.
well, most of them just said no because it looks funny, and you know, I've never actually thought about this, but you know, if someone were to tell you to draw a penis, the vast majority of people to draw a penis would probably show, like a circumcised one.
Probably, yeah. At least in the United States. I guarantee you in other places it wouldn't be, because the rates... Mind you, that the rate that I cited is for the United States.
I'm sure Jerusalem's like 90.
Oh, yeah, it's probably like 100. But in, like, in a lot of areas, it's way less. Like in Japan, it's like pretty much null. Like, pretty much nobody does that.
Well, being that I do like Asian women, I see those videos a lot, but I don't know. I guess, I mean, strange. I will never understand why they try to switch cultures, because you know, I fucking love Asian culture, but a lot of them in videos totally have it circumcised, and it's just like, good, and I'm bigger than you. Let's keep it this way. But I don't know. I would imagine that you would want it to look bigger, which also makes me really confused of why more Asian men in porn don't shave. Like,
I don't know.
if the old-time classic is shave to look bigger, and you know, for cleanliness issues anyway, then why not do that if your country's kinda known for small dingles?
I don't know. I don't have an answer to that one.
Then again, it seems like most Asian people have a problem with that. Like, the 70s ended a long time ago, people. I know you didn't have, like, the disco era in Japan, but for fuck's sake, you don't need a rug. Get that shit out of here. Like, I've been with one woman that just didn't. Like, I don't know why she didn't. Oh yeah, she was a virgin, so she just, I don't know, which is weird because every other virgin I've been with has shaved. But I don't know. Shave that shit. I need to know where I'm going. It needs to be clean.
I have seen both, and I don't really have a preference so long as it's well kept.
I prefer it clean.
I don't know. It's never bothered me, but like I said, as long as it's, you know, like I said, just well maintenance, like a haircut.
Look, my balls are like eggs. They need to match. Granted, it wouldn't be an egg for them, but it'd be like a fresh slice of ham from the deli. Nice and smooth. Juicy. Maybe tastes good. Honey baked.
Like roast.
No, I don't want to go down on some Arby's, thank you.
But I'm thinking Arby's.
Ugh, God. But Arby's has become like the stigma for, you know, disgusting vagina look. Especially like if you're talking beef curtains, which I am so thankful that has not been something I've run into, because if there's a deal breaker, it's dark beef curtains.
I've never seen any that are like too bad like that. I don't know. That one's never really bothered me, but I can. If it was like bad, it'd bother me probably. But I've never encountered any that were like, you know, that bad.
I mean, I guess we don't have to worry about that at all, because you know it's not a thing.
Yeah,
Oh,
true.
what about like those porns where like it's a white guy doing his thing, and like let's just say he's pale for the sake of conversation.
Okay.
Like so, you know, the guy's white and pink
Okay.
as a white dude. But for some reason his junk is like brown, like stained by coffee, beaten as a child. Like poor thing's been abused since like day one. Why? Why? Get some skin bleach for fuck's sake.
I've never seen that, actually.
You've never seen that in a porn? You could probably see it in like the thumbnails or the gifs that, you know, play. But I've never, I mean it happens to women too. You know, a woman
Yeah.
could have a white vagina. This is primarily, you know, lighter skinned people. But like
Yeah.
she could have a white vagina, a pink vagina, and then all of a sudden there will be some with like a beaten dark colored one. And it really sucks for like black women because, you know, that's when it's like almost black.
Yeah.
And I never ever understood that. Like if your shit looks like it was beaten up, skin bleach that motherfucker.
I don't know. I've never seen it, so I. I agree, though. That would be really, like, really weird.
Like if I were to go out with like a pale, like a milky white goth chick, and you know,
Hot. But go on.
oh, fully agree. But all of a sudden she dropped trow, and she's got a black woman's vagina. I don't know if I'll be in the mood.
That would be very unusual, I will admit. I think I might have a hard time with that, too.
And as someone who likes darker skinned women, like, obviously with a darker skinned woman, it wouldn't matter so much because, you know, you're dark. That thing stays in the dark. It has evolved. But stop hitting me. I don't know. It's weird. You see a lot of
Yeah,
things in sex.
Yeah. It would seem so. I can't say I've encountered that.
Like bitch has been fucked by a horse. I wonder if furries are into bestiality.
Some of them are, I know.
I don't know if I've told you this story, but I'll tell it for the sake of the fact that I'm putting this with it. I'm gonna make this Captain and Sonic's sex corner for YouTube.
Alright. I'm
Um,
down. Go on.
I'm glad you're okay with it. Like, I had this friend once that, well, I still am friends with him, but he knew this girl, and the story is too detailed to have ever been made up. It's just gross, gross, and gross and gross and gross. But she was a self-proclaimed trisexual. And so
Alright.
she liked men, women, and animals, which kinky is kink, I will usually try not to judge you based on anything you do because it doesn't affect me, so why should I care? But I had questions, and I was like, please explain this, and he's like, he told me that she, you know, was open-minded, so liked both sexes, but liked to blow and fuck her dog. And her reasoning for it is it's warmer than any guy's cock. And I was just like, That's not okay.
That seems like a weird reason to. I
And
feel like most people would be like, "Oh, that makes it better because it's warm."
well, I mean, warm vagina feels nice. But
Yeah, I guess, but like, I don't know. Anyway, go on.
and it was just like, why? And apparently he had walked in on her beating off and sucking off her dog once, and it's just like, I think I would vomit. Like, I don't like beyond watching someone throw up. There's not really anything that I can think of that could make me throw up. But if I saw that, I'd probably vomit on the spot. Like, no. I think I would accept
Well,
ecosexuality before that.
see, that's funny. Like, admittedly, it doesn't bother me that much. But one thing I can say for it, it's interesting that you bring that up because that's another thing that we talked about in the philosophy of sexuality class.
Bestiality?
Yeah, we've talked about like everything. And what we were saying is that like,
Were there no
because we were
prudes
talking
in your
about
class?
what's that?
Were there no prudes in your class?
They didn't last. It was one of those classes where like by the end of the semester, half of them had dropped.
Okay. Please
So
continue.
like, yeah, you couldn't be like that stuck up about talking about stuff and be in that class. Like it just didn't work. But anyway, so we talked about it, and what we were saying is that like it's a similar thing to the reasoning for like why you don't have sex with children.
Oops.
That like obviously they can't consent because they don't understand what
I don't
it
think
is.
my issue is the fact if they can consent or not. I think I have a much bigger issue of that's gross, but anyway.
Yeah, but like that's like you're hardwired to think that like as an evolutionary process.
aren't
Like there's a
sexy.
reason. What's that?
I said children just aren't sexy.
Exactly, because they're okay. Like going from, mind you, this is like from a very clinical perspective on the thing, because obviously I find it abhorrent too, but from a clinical perspective, the reason that you feel that way is because of the fact that you know that children are not like viable for reproduction. So in order for, and also like again, that they cannot like consent sexually. So as a mechanism of evolution, you find that disgusting, and you find people who are interested in that disgusting. So that's like it is twofold. It stops you from doing that, and it makes you protect children. So like as an evolutionary mechanism, it makes a lot of sense.
Well,
Like why that exists. You know what I mean?
ironically enough, I got this statement from a teacher, from an
Okay.
environmental and sustainability class, because we were talking about, some animals that have incest. It's just they don't fucking know or care.
Yeah, because the animals.
And I think we got on the topic of reviving the woolly mammoth, which would end up having incest. And
Right, that makes sense.
And I was like, that's just so fucking gross. Like, I mean, with people, it's taboo. You just don't do
Right.
it. But then it was a really weird statement, and I swear this lady was born in the mountains. But she said, that's only because you were raised to think such. If you were raised in an area where, like, for whatever reason, it was okay to fuck your siblings, then you would grow up thinking there's nothing wrong with that. Which
No,
was
I disagree, but go on.
well, I mean, if you were raised in the mountains with your ma and pa and sis, and never saw anybody beyond like other family other friends of the family that fuck their kids, then you would probably grow up thinking nothing's wrong with that because that's just what you were around. And I was just like, that is a really dark thought, and I can see your point, but maybe it's just because I was raised to that's wrong, or or the fact that just personal ethics tells me no. No.
Well, see,
But
I actually disagree with her on that point. Um, like, because that's the thing though, is I guess, obviously this part is anecdotal, but I can definitely say that, like, I've never had anybody, like, teach me, like, that's wrong, that's unusual, or anything like that. Like, I just kind of, like, like, it's sort of like an inherent, like, you sort of feel that way about it. And again, I'm going to go with the same kind of reasoning that there is an evolutionary mechanism in place to create that sensation of disinterest or disgust. In that, with incest, if you have children by it, you will end up with an incredibly high rate of harmful mutations genetically.
extra retard
Like,
babies.
Yeah, like, that's no secret. You'll end up with all kinds of crazy things. Like, it's the blue blood diseases, from, like, the royal families and stuff that all, like, inbred.
How about the fact that, like, I think it was within the past 100 years there was maybe it was past 200 years. There was a full a full family, like a couple generations of, like, mountain people, straight up fucking Hicks, that were fucking each other, having babies with each other, all within the family, and there something actually pretty quick down the line caused them to be blue, and they had a blue hue to them, so it was just this inbred blue family. I don't know if it was like, it had to have been some chemical thing, but yeah, straight up blue family because of inbreeding. Which, the blue part's cool, the inbreeding part's not so much cool.
Well, actually, I may bring forth a theory as to why they were blue, and it might not be inbreeding, actually. Now, I could be wrong, but this is just something I've heard about, which makes me think that it might be something else, because I can't imagine how that would end up with a person being blue. But one of the old remedies back in the day was to drink, I think it was silver nitrate. I can't remember what it was, but you can look it up. It was a liquid silver form. It was like some sort of compound of silver, and it was believed to be, like, good for just general health as well as, like, curing diseases. Obviously that wasn't true, but people thought that. But one of the side effects that comes from doing that, from, like, taking the silver, is you turn blue. And, like, you can, if you want, you can even look it up. There is a man who is alive. Well, he might have
I thought
died.
that was
I
like
think
a
he may
nickel
have died.
impurity or some shit.
No, I'm pretty sure it was silver.
Oh.
But this guy, he might have died, but I've seen a picture of him. He is
He
straight
has, like,
up
glasses
blue.
and a big white beard.
Yeah, and he's
Yeah.
blue. It's because of this stuff that he drinks. I suspect with that family, what it might be is because they're like the backwater Hicks, they may be using that remedy still, and that might be why the family's blue.
If there was something that I could drink and the only side effect was I became blue, I'd drink that fucking shit every day.
I know you would, but that unfortunately is not. Like,
And
it's
it has
actually
nothing to do with
harmful.
the fact that I love Sonic and my screen name is Sonic. It's just, it would be cool to be a blue person.
That's fair. It would be certainly interesting.
Bring Guardians of the Galaxy to life.
Yeah, but yeah, well, there is a way you could. It just would kill you eventually.
Yeah, exactly. That's the fucking problem. I mean, I could try to drink blue food coloring all the fucking time, because I know it eventually changes your pee color. That's why I stopped drinking blue Powerade all the time. That and all the
Turn your
sugar.
pee green or something?
Oh god, yeah, because, like, this was during, like, my poor time, so I'd just, steal. and I would always have blue Powerade because it was the delicious one. And
Mhm.
like I had to stop doing it because there was just too much sugar involved, and it was not good for my health. But like my pee was getting gradually greener and greener, and then blue, and it was funny as shit because there was nothing bad with it. It was just all the food coloring. But I
Right.
was just like, man, I am so glad I didn't fall in love with the red one.
Oh God. It was pee and blood. Well, that one it might come out like really orange.
At first, it eventually turns red.
Does it?
Oh yeah.
Really? Interesting. Well, I've learned something today.
It also affects your poop.
Does
Which,
it?
you know,
That's
like
kind of funny.
I think I know you can poop green I think it's if you don't have enough vegetables or too much. I don't remember what the fuck it exactly is. But, I was pooping green all the time. And I was like, I know it's not a health issue. It's just fucking food coloring, and I didn't want to poop green anymore.
I would definitely have green poops after I would go to the movie theaters and have the blue ices.
Oh yeah, that's right. Those things are fucking soaked with food coloring.
They're delicious, but yes.
How did we get from
that
sex
made-
to this?
I have no idea, but it's kind of funny.
This is what happens when the fucking rest of the group's not here.
Right.
We've gone through like logical conversation, opinions, to personal stories and acts of sexual deviancy.
And blue poop.
And blue poop.
We've covered all the bases, which is actually a good thing, because at this point I need to go to sleep because I was up late last night.
I don't even know what time it is. Oh my god. Okay. Well, right before you leave, I think it was earlier, like before your mom got home. Like you said, I'll be right back. I think you went to like go to the bathroom, and I was like, I'm gonna go to bed too. I'll play one game so I can talk to Captain, not just leave when he comes back. And then we started talking about random shit, and that was at like 12:30 to 1 o'clock. It is 2:53 in the morning. So as soon as I'm done with this game, I'm going to fuck to bed.
I do not blame you, man. Well, it was a good talk, though, at least.
It was definitely entertaining.
Yeah. But alrighty, man, I will catch you tomorrow, because I'll be on for at least a little while.
Okay, man. Have a good night.
You too. Peace out.
Later. Oh my god. And that's my friends. Shit. Any topic should be talked about. If your friends are truly friends and you're comfortable with them, talk to them about the world. Talk to them about sex. Talk to them about green poop. Oh shit. Because what is a friend if you cannot talk about anything? And Captain is a perfect example. As you've heard through these wild conversations of me playing Rocket League and not really paying attention to the game, but I think I've done pretty well so far. I've only lost a handful of games. Missed a lot of shots, but you know what? It's okay, because I had fun and had great conversation. Whoop, excuse me. Yeah, the countdown for my video to end. Can I make another one? Like earlier? Nope. Pigeon power! Oh shit! What a great way to end it. Okay. And it is time to stop. Goodbye!